Everybody, how's it going? I hope you can hear me well. I do have to try to test the stream on a different device to see whether everything is working or it's just kind of like last time. Let me test the stream for a second. Let's see how's it going. I don't have access to the chat yet, so bear with me until I see everything is working as expected, not like the last time that gave me so much headache. So let me bring the chat up also. Okay. Seems working. Yep, nice. So, all good. Fantastic. So, the objective of this video is to try to install OpenBSD on Raspberry Pi. I have two Raspberry Pis, one Raspberry Pi 4 and also a Raspberry Pi Zero, Raspberry Pi Zero 2, yeah, I guess. And what I'm trying to do is to figure out how to actually install OpenBSD on it. Just a second. Okay, my apologies. All right, so let me open a browser here. First, I'm going to open on the different monitor to make sure that I am not bringing something personal here. And can I close this crap stuff? Yes. Okay. What else we have here? Okay, I think we are good to go. Great. So I have seen on the OpenBSD download page that they also provide stuff for ARM64. The question is how to actually load this. Let me close it for now, not download it. Do we have any instruction on how to try to... Okay, so this is just a flashing. Okay, fine. Performing a simple install. So the thing is that, are we going to... I think probably we are not going to install it, in the sense that when you, let's say, put the image in the USB, in the micro SD card, I assume it should just resize the USB stick and then just boot the OpenBSD, and that's it, not going through the installation. At least this is the case for Linux, but for OpenBSD we have to figure out how it's going to work out. So far I don't see anything, so let me just Google it and then maybe we find out something. SD install on Raspberry Pi 4. That's already showing up. Okay, 1 year ago, a guide here, installation, okay. And what should be else? Firewall, OpenBSD, RPI 4, and ARM64. Okay, so let's check the first page on the ARM64 here. So this blah blah blah. Okay, so nice. The install media includes firmware required to boot Raspberry Pi 3, 4, and 5. The Raspberry Pi boards require closed but redistributable files and the system disk to load into VC4 GPU, which starts the ARM cores. By default, the boot ROM on Raspberry Pi 3 and older versions on Raspberry Pi 4 will only try to load these files off an SD card. To load the firmware off the SD card and have the root disk on USB after installing OpenBSD reboot and interrupt U-boot before time, blah blah blah. Include the U-boot bar, okay. Apple system need to have UEFI, okay. So supported hardware. Wow, they support a lot of Mac. I never went to investigate. Okay, they are not still supporting M4 and stuff. Raspberry Pi 4, okay, nice. Okay, so this seems very straightforward actually. Nice, yeah, give it a try. خبری نیست سلامتی. LibreOffice made it unusable. Okay, I'm not using really LibreOffice or any office suite much, except maybe simple word processing, and that's it. So honestly, I'm not really aware of it, but I trust you. And the following notes capture this. This is too old. This is like 10 version, 11 versions behind. So okay, maybe this one. I have no interest in GUI, no wireless. Okay. Over via Ethernet. Do I have? I do have. But then I can't use, if I don't have the wireless, then I can't use the Raspberry Pi Zero because it doesn't have a Ethernet. For installation, only monitor connected via micro HDMI, no serial console. Update the built-in bootloader on the Pi using the imager. seems a lot of steps. Hello. Install firmware on boot partition. To go to the device manager, Raspberry Pi configure, and then set limit RAM to 3. Disable table selection XP. Near the power supply, then the question is, can I SSH do it? So if I install this firmware on boot partition, okay. From this on boot partition, would I press escape? I have no idea. Set limit this to boot. Maybe we can find a better documentation. 7.9 maybe. Support at least Raspberry Pi 3 and 4 with no additional firmware. Install it to a USB storage device. The default system console is on the TTS serial interface. What? I do not have that one. What is this? I don't have a serial console, so we have to figure out the different one. And a command such as this. If not, with respect to the setting of the UEFI boot partition. Oh boy, so it requires Pi OS. Will install possibly only boot from SD. This. And that's too much work. So up to date. I have a Raspberry Pi OS on a SD card lying around, but I do not think it's updated. So that could cause a problem. Then we do this. Finish. Should be USB and can be verified. It does not seem blah blah blah. Did you follow this instruction or you followed something else? How difficult was it? Because it seems to me that it requires a lot of work. I anticipated that it was simpler. Okay, this is outdated. Is it update? No. Board use this. It's available device trees, blah blah blah. Okay. This is 2 years ago. HDMI cable, keyboard, mouse, operating system running Linux or similar. Our guru is Goldfish here, so he has to give us some pointers. If you want to keep the BIOS, which could be really useful. Which at this time. I don't have none of those equipment for the getting the serial out. We can use install it headless. When there's no display, you just try to type it? or yeah, I assume there is also no kind of SSH. So it's either serial, which then I have to do the PIN stuff. I don't have the stuff here, or just try see what happens. Oh boy. On monitor it will show the U-boot screen but not after. Why? Console doesn't display by default after the U-boot and boot screen. Oh god. I have to think about it. Nice. If you wrote the blog post, you can email me the link. I can put it in the community post. So we need to download the OpenBSD, boot it from the USB stick, seems like it. Get the bootloader, and what else we have to do? Data from the microSD card where OpenBSD will be installed. This is optional, as mentioned before. Connect an Ethernet cable. Do we need to have if you like pain. Yeah, sure, why not? As a router, giving my old devices internet via Ethernet port. Nice. What I had to do, I didn't do any UFI nonsense, just use the mini root image. Okay, that's good to know. Update the built-in bootloader on Pi using the imager. I used Windows. Blah blah blah. Oh boy. Okay, so I need a different machine as well to first get the Raspberry Pi OS, put it on a micro SD card, and then update, change the bootloader order to boot from USB. This is what I understood. Did you change also the bootloader order to boot from USB, or I just need to put the mini root into the USB and that's it? I assume I have to change the bootloader order. Seems this, which one was it? Okay, so definitely I have to do the boot order. I do have exactly the same actually. I have exactly the same. Root image. With the include in this can be used. This okay, so we should have it working already via firmware required. Okay, so we should have the firmware here. What the hell? At the same time, I'm also asking AI to see how would it be working. That's pain in the neck. Not where. Oh, I need to connect the USB keyboard. The cable one. What? There's no firmware for built-in wireless adapter. Not installed to a USB storage device rather. The Raspberry Pi 4 plug, the USB is I can make a short video tutorial if you like me to. Would probably help a lot of people in the future. Yes, absolutely. Why not? That's a great idea. That would be very nice of you doing that. And I'm trying to figure out extra steps. So put the SD card on the Wi-Fi, connect this. Choose install, blah blah blah. Okay, this is what we are going to do. Let's just first download it. I'm going to download the okay, it's not big also. Is this one downloaded already? We have one. The other one I think is fully downloaded as well, so we should be good. Let me cancel it. Okay, so we got these. I have to put the micro SD card and then flash it. So what was it? Disk label. Okay, let me bring it here. So this is my micro SD card, and we have to now do DD. So where do I have? I have here. Okay, so do as DD install blah 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 /dev rsd and 1c and block size 1m. We don't have a status progress on OpenBSD, do we? Random, yes, SD1. And then C. Okay. Yeah, there's no status. Yeah. SD1C. Okay, this is good. After that I have to try to boot it. Okay, it has already written. Nice. And let's see what we gotta do after. Let me try to find a God damn, I need to find the... I used to have the... What is this? This is mini or... Each is different. So let me try to find the HDMI connector. It may take a while. It may take a while. Alright, I'm back. Found both a USB keyboard as well as a HDMI connector for Raspberry Pi. I think this is called Micro, if I'm not mistaken. So it's mentioned that we gotta connect it to the closest one to the USB-C port. So here we are. And you're gonna connect the keyboard also. I probably have to switch my other monitor to the Raspberry Pi, but before that I need to pull the micro SD card. So let me pull the micro SD card and then we're gonna see what's gonna happen. Ah crap, is it this way? Yeah. So I'm gonna switch to the HDMI. Alright. Ah crap, it went back to VGA again. Let me plug it. What I'm supposed to do now? Huh? Something I saw. Okay. So what I gotta do now is to type. What the hell do I have to type at the boot screen? Oh crap. No, I can't find it. It was something with the TTY stuff. Where is it? I saw it somewhere. Set TTY? No. Set. Okay, so I have to type set TTY FB0. And what is saying? Or TTY FB0 maybe. No. It is at the U boot. Press any key. Let me try to restart it. Or can I do even anything? No. Let me try to plug and unplug. So here we are. OpenBSD set TTY FB0. Switch into console. Nice. It is booting. It is booting. I'm not sure whether I can show you. Let me see. There. Can you see it? It's booting. So unfortunately, I can't do more than that. Crap. Let me. No, I don't think there's an easier way. Okay, so unless, just give me a second, maybe I find a way to do it. I have to hide myself for a sec and see what I can do. Oh boy. That's not the best place, but not the. That's the problem, is that I have this wiring crap, and that is, yeah, you gotta forgive me for this. This is, I just wanted to show you also what I'm doing. So let's do install. Yeah, keyboard layout default. Okay. RP4. I cannot read the chat, by the way, so in case that somebody is saying something, I can't read it unless, or let me try to use the other computer to see whether I can figure out the chat. No. So, boy, I have not connected the cable, the Ethernet. Alright, so let me connect the Ethernet cable to. Okay, we are also should now connect to the Ethernet. Let me do the YouTube quickly. So the network interface is this one. Yes, auto configure. Can connect to the internet or no? It has no signal from what I can see. Yeah, let's try this. Yes. Okay, root password. Yes, do SSH, set up a user. Yes. That would be it. Allow root SSH. No, we don't want. Time zone, correct. Which disk? Install on this. No encryption. Yeah, okay, we're gonna go with the whole. I'm not sure whether I'm making mistakes here or no, but first I just want to continue with the default and see whether I can boot OpenBSD or no. Okay, HTTP, yes, why not? If it can connect to the internet. And a response is required. Done is not a response. Yes, HTTP, no. HTTP server. Does it do this? Can I install just from disk? Let's do from disk. Apparently should be mounted. Yes. Pathing. Here is the part that I got no idea what. So we have it here already. It is already in the installer, so why is not then? I think it's not connected to the internet. Just give me a second. I need to do some research. What happened to my OpenBSD? No. Wait. Okay. I am trying to figure out the way to read the chat. Just give me a second. So the Ethernet is connected, but somehow it cannot get the stuff from the internet. So at least we managed to boot it. Okay. My internet is not cooperative. Okay. Okay. Here and all right. Let me bring up the chat. Okay. And we are good to go. Okay. All fine. Wow. 6 a.m. in Australia time. Nice. Then have a good work, I assume. And let me actually try to... Can I reboot? Try to actually see whether after reboot it will connect to the internet or no. Because I have connected the Ethernet ports later on. And then that was sort of the issue. Now it kind of got stuck. Oh boy. Try to do it again. Error. Firmware not found. How the hell that then it worked before? That's absolutely crazy. It just worked before and then now it's not. Is it because of the Ethernet? Let me try to plug it again. No? Oh, maybe I messed up the whole partition. Okay, okay, I messed up the whole partition. It was booting from the... Yeah, okay, I got it. Yeah, I do have to actually do again on the write the stuff again. So, but the question is, can I boot from the... Let me find the USB stick and then try to also burn it on the USB stick and see whether I can boot it from the USB stick but then write it to the SD cards. If I can do that, that would be the best. Okay, let's do that. Okay, I'm going to turn off the camera and I have to unplug the Raspberry Pi. And then all right. Okay, logistic issues. So much of the logistic issues. Okay, that will be the best. Okay, I gotta unplug it. And what I have to do now is probably try to, let me fix my monitor. Okay, so the idea is this time, instead of booting from the SD card, I boot it from the USB stick, the installer, and then I will try to install it on the SD card. Let's try this approach and see whether it is going to work or no. So now where is this guy? I think, let me try to bring it here first to find out the yeah, okay, it is the SD2. So this is the SD2, and I'm going to SD2C, and after that I try to boot, but probably I do have to zero out maybe the micro SD card. There was something about it somewhere. Yes, from micro SD card where OpenBSD will be installed. Do is optional, as mentioned before. Be very careful with the device file. And if I want to actually zero it out, is 128 gigabytes. Maybe it's gonna take a while. For a test, I'm not gonna do it for now. And then after I try to do it. Why is it taking such a long time to install? I've installed an hour ago on my system. Nice. How did it go? Was it difficult? The same way that I was struggling, or it was simpler? Okay, so we are doing everything live, so, and I was not prepared for it. The slightest, I had to go literally figure out the cables, bring the what happened. Okay, so okay, I got the U-boot, and where is this set TTYFV1? Alright, so set TTYFV0. It's booting. Let's see whether I'm going to have access to the internet or not. Default RP4. Auto done. Alright, it seems we made some progress. Let me show you guys. Let's see, hopefully you can see it. I'm using my webcam to show you, so you gotta forgive me for it. Let me see, how's it? Not the best. It's like we are doing everything live, so this is the best I can give it to you for now until I make a proper tutorial out of it. Okay, so put XFC on OpenBSD. Okay, on the Pi, all working fine. A few more legs and MDP custom 2GP problems. I think first time installing BSD is really awesome. Nice, nice. I'm not sure whether it's possible to put XFC and get a good performance. At least from what I understood on the chat is that it's not super fast. So what we are having, yes, hello root, no, time zone correct. So this should be SD card, I assume. No. Oh no. This is the which one is it? So it starts at this. Yeah, it looks correct to me. The whole, yes. And 1 gig, 7 gig, 3 gigs, 16 meg. It's 128. How it's partitioning like this? So it's 10, 12, 13, 14 max. Yeah, but okay. As long as we can get it working. I hope it's not right into the USB, because the USB is 8 gig. No, it shouldn't. No, that's not the case. Probably it's the micro SD card. But it goddamn slow. But Oliver, did you try to run it on the Raspberry Pi, or you are just giving me the instruction that's available also for desktop? I'm asking because I'm interested to know how was the, if you have installed it on Raspberry Pi, how was the speed? HTTP server hostname. Can I now install this? And which one we get? Okay, we get one. Okay, one. Okay, server, this one. Yes. As you can see, my internet is not super fast, especially when it's involved with the live stream. Vodafone. It's the curse of using a provider called Vodafone. Come on. Install. How many packages do we have? Wow, still we gotta download the kernel. Okay, it's installing. Nice. The writing to disk is very slow. Seems like it. No. Okay. And then after that's what we got to do. Let me check. Oof. It's super slow. Maybe I should not have selected everything. It's literally a stale sometimes. Still better. Yeah, of course, it's still better. Nah, it's the same. I'm just joking. It's the same. The reason I did not record I didn't go live with the FreeBSD stuff, by the way, it was because of exactly the spinning hard drive on my T430. I just didn't want to go through this frustration. Not only myself, but also like you guys also would be frustrated when things is like super slow. So yeah. And yeah, 128 meg. Oh boy, everything is slow. Yes, it will eventually get there. Okay, it's going faster. Okay. And somehow my internet on one of my devices keeps disconnecting, so I lose chat sometimes. How long I've been live? 1 hour and a half almost. Oh. I hope I can finish it before 15, at least in 15-20 minutes before I close the live stream, because I think I will just stay for maximum half an hour. Depends on how far we go. Depends on how far we go. My objective for this live stream is to finish the installation. So if it finishes, then I can end it earlier. Otherwise, if we are kind of in this state and almost end of it, then I can wait a bit. But if it finishes and then I reboot and doesn't boot up, then yeah, I don't know what to do. So then probably I postpone it to a later day to do some investigation, because here it's almost midnight. It's 11:20 p.m. and I'm goddamn tired and have to work also tomorrow. Come on. And I'm not sure, is there any guide about the Raspberry Pi Zero? Because I also have a Raspberry Pi Zero and I'm curious how that will work. Raspberry Pi Zero 2W. Okay, that's exactly my model. And Google is so stupid. This AI stuff. I'm just looking at I'm searching, and then for the instruction, it's linking literally to the FreeBSD website. It's, man, why do you need to add that crap in the search engine? Okay, for Raspberry Pi Zero, apparently I also need in addition to this whole setup that I have, I need also a USB Ethernet dongle or something. And this one is it's not USB-C. It's a micro USB, and the HDMI is also not the micro HDMI, it's a mini HDMI. Oh man, why Raspberry Pi guys could not use at least the same interface? I have a USB-C Ethernet dongle, but I don't have the... No, I do not have the micro USB one. And I have to look for the mini HDMI connector. I was lucky to find this one. So I'm going to install OpenBSD Invert Manager to avoid installing on real hardware. Okay, sure. Why not? Give it a try. Maybe you end up installing on your actual hardware later on. It's Chromebook with Linux. Okay. I have zero experience about Chromebook. I don't have one. I got tempted multiple times to purchase one, but the thing is that yeah, I'm like, I have a lot of junk, so probably I don't need another device. Okay. Let me check something. I think actually he's installing on the USB stick. It's not installing on the micro SD card. I realized just that the micro SD card is here. I didn't put it in the Raspberry Pi, goddamn. So it's installing probably on the USB. Yeah, it's empty. It's installing on the USB stick itself. Let's see how it's gonna go. Is it going to be successful or it's gonna fail? So hopefully it's going to work. That explains why it is super slow. This micro SD card, this USB stick is absolutely anxious and it's super slow, so that justifies it. Oh boy. But you see, I'm going through all this. Yes, it should be faster, but the problem is that the storage itself is crappy. It's very old, and I just use it as it's very old and probably on its last leg, and I'm usually using it just to boot from, not to do anything. Yeah, but if I have a proper USB stick, I just didn't think that it's going to install there. Oh boy, I made a mistake. But you see, I'm going through the pain, so you guys don't go through the pain and the same mistakes I'm making. Now the question is, after reboot, is it going to boot up or no? And something that was a bit funky was about the partition size. It was showing even more than the capacity of the USB stick, so I'm a bit doubtful about the boot. As long as it boots, it's considered as success. If it doesn't, then yeah, I have to continue tomorrow. Yes, I am feeling the pain with a very deep pain, especially that is live. If it was just doing on my own, then yeah, I would say yeah, it's maybe I would have stopped it and then tried to do the process again. But now it's like but definitely it's worth the tutorial. It's worth the tutorial. And I hope our friend Goldfish hasn't spent too much time on trying to prepare a tutorial. Try the TTY serial install. I don't have even the equipment for it. I do not have the equipment for that. I don't want to go through that pain. The best I can do is this. Not more. No, I'm not gonna take more than this. This is my max limit. I mean, it was, to be honest, okay, it's all, in all fairness and joke aside, the instructions on the internet, I think maybe they overcomplicated it. Maybe. If it, time zone, yes. If it boots, it's a bit, either there are a lot of improvements since the article is written, or they got it a bit overcomplicated. Let's see. It all depends on the results of these experiments. If it boots, then it's fine. If it doesn't, then I'm screwed. Making all devices note. Oh boy, it's super slow. Let me see whether I can search some stuff here. Optional changes. Enter a prompt and choose the install option. Yeah, I was not careful with the disk. And I think this is exactly what happened. I installed on the USB drive. So change to the CD, change the CDN, okay. Okay, the Wi-Fi firmware is added. Okay, using the BSDMP. Okay, that's nice. I am having some doubt on whether it's going to boot. This step is going to take a while. Relinking. Keyword this. Let me check something. Yes, the kernel linking is gonna take a long time, especially on this relatively underpowered device. Please finish. We want to go asleep. Or people wanna go to work. Boy. So according to yes, that's also my biggest fear, that it may not work. But I mean, I have already spent that much time, so I may just wait a couple more minutes to see whether it's going to boot or no. The only hope I have is that it downloaded all the installation files from the internet. So technically, it should not be really matter whether it's writing in the installation media. But yeah, it is something that we are going to figure out together. But also, even if it's the installation okay and healthy, then the other doubt is whether it can boot from the USB stick. This is the Raspberry Pi specific, unless I do some funky stuff with the EEPROM and stuff, and I don't want to do that kind of thing now, at least according to the ChatGPT. So oh, this relinking kernel is not finishing. I think one of the factors that is super slow is because of the USB stick. I can't even type the webcam is blocking the keyboard. OpenBSD Raspberry 0 to okay. Okay. So change our network configuration, blah blah blah. Device tree blob, okay. Cat 6 cable. Okay, I could have done even this one maybe without typing. Out of the laptop, plug it there. As usual. Okay, so there is no Wi-Fi. I thought it already copied the DTB. Oh, okay, it copied it to the. It copied it to boot. Okay, so this is finished. Let's try to reboot. So far, no error. Finish this micro SD cards. Okay, so he added to the USB and then wrote it to the micro SD card here. No, we boot from micro SD cards. Okay. Plug in this with this. It's connecting, blah blah blah. And okay, set, what was it, FP0? Let me just double check before. Crappy, I pressed the wrong keyboard. Oh god, now I don't have HDMI. I have to try to reboot. Ah, equal. I didn't have to put equal. Oh man. Can I reboot? I don't want to I don't want to unplug it. I'm kind of concerned whether the data is going to be corrupted or no. But at the same time, it's not responsive, so the hell with that. Okay, let's unplug it. Okay, so set tty fp0. Okay. Yes, it was not properly mounted. I hope the file system is not corrupted. Marking the file system clean. Nice. Starting the network. Seems booting. But until I do not see a login screen, I do not want to jinx it by saying something. Let's read the rest of it about the Raspberry Pi Zero. Then this network interface, disk performance. Nice. So we also, oh come on, no, it's relinking again. You gotta wait another 10 minutes probably. So about the Raspberry Pi Zero, I think the process is more or less similar, except it has one more step on the copying the device tree from what I see. Other than that, it should work. It should work the same way. I'm so tired, I can't even form sentences, man. Yeah, it should be similar. And maybe in the newer version of the OpenBSD, they have this device tree for Raspberry Pi 02 as well. The same way that they have added for the Raspberry Pi 4 and other models. Where it was. No mention of the Raspberry Pi 0, so probably, yeah, we still have to do the device tree stuff. Thank you, and also good luck to you at your work. At least it's booting. Now I'm just waiting for the reordering the libraries and probably relinking a new kernel, which is going to take another 10 more minutes. And after that, the moment I see the login screen, objective achieved, end of the live stream, jump to the bed, go to sleep. That would be the next steps for me. Alright, sorry, I had to do something and I went away for a few seconds. So it seems it's booted. Let me try to enter my password. Okay, nice. And here we are. We are booting. We have successfully booted the OpenBSD 7.9 on Raspberry Pi 4. And I think that should be it for today's stream. Just let me switch the camera off for a second and switch back to myself so you can see. Okay, great, fantastic. So now we have actually Raspberry Pi 4 running OpenBSD 7.9. Everything more or less went okay. It took a long time, almost over 2 hours actually, 2 hours and 15 minutes almost. And I think the installation process was not difficult. The guides that are out there probably are a bit outdated, and they are going with the approach of booting from the USB stick and then installing on a micro SD card. But from at least the accident, something that by mistake I made, which was booting from the USB stick and also installing on the USB stick, seems that is simpler. But I would say some of the Raspberry Pis, they have to enable this booting from the USB stick. So probably the best way would be to write the installer on the micro SD card and then booting it from the micro SD card, having the network plugged in, and then installing also on the same micro SD, meaning it's going to install the OpenBSD on the installation medium. As long as it pulls the repository and the packages from the internet, should be fine. But I have to do more experiments with it. But at least I can say there was no need to get all this device tree, UEFI, and a bunch of other stuff. The newer version of OpenBSD from this comment should have all those stuff in place in the installation medium. So, and this post is for the 7.6, and here is already mentioned there should not be no need for it. And for the 7.9 definitely shouldn't be anything for it. So we should be good to go like that. And if that's the case, all we need is a micro SD card, at least for Raspberry Pi 4, a micro SD card, put the installation medium on it, plug it to the HDMI monitor, and attach a keyboard and an Ethernet cable. Then that's it, can install it, and then it installs the Wi-Fi driver or the firmware during the installation process. That should be all the notes that I have to keep in mind when creating a video for it. Installing okay in a VM, nice. Nice. I think that's the... Is that one the continuation of the what was it, of the Solaris? Or is it like something like... It was something, I think it was that. I cannot even pronounce that, but yeah. No XFC for now. No XFC for now. I'm going to actually finish the live stream. So then thanks for everybody who tuned in. I'm extremely tired. I can't even word sentences now. It's way past my sleep time. So thanks again for tuning in and have a great time. I see you in the next video or the live stream. Bye.